Well, I want to see if she has service. I'm going to introduce her and then we'll see if she can get on. So, Joanna, oh, there you are.
You can hear me.
It's breaking up a little.
Let me move. Hang on. Can
Move your car.
you hear me now?
Yes.
Hang on. All right.
Yeah,
Tell me
she,
if
yeah,
this
it's
is
like,
better.
that's better. We can hear you now and you're not breaking up.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna introduce Joanna really fast because some of y'all know her, but some of y'all do not. And she and I connected. We'll get into the story of it all later on, but she and I connected back in 2017, the end of 2017. And funny story, she was already working really closely with a sideline friend of mine. Her name is Emily, and they were working together often. They're not on the same team. They just found each other and they found me. And Emily was like, hey, I think we should bring, actually, maybe Joanna, you should be telling the story, but she was like, hey, I think we should bring this girl, Jordan, into our group. I think that we could all like run together. This would be really fun. And Joanna said no. And then Emily was like, well, I think we should let her in. So they graciously took me in, and Joanna's husband and I, yeah, what are you gonna fill in, Joanna? Go ahead and fill in the gaps. I know there's some.
I was just worried, like, what if we didn't like you? What if, like, you didn't, we didn't work well together, but it all worked out.
Yes. Um, and then our husbands have actually become best friends. If y'all have not gotten on a trip with your husband, on a Plexus trip where other husbands are, right? We're not just like taking our husbands on like an exclusive trip. Like I know a few of our girls have gone to like Senior Gold Lion. I know Silver Stars is really great, but that is not a trip where there's like lots of dudes. If you have, our husbands are best friends, literally. They plan camping trips that they still haven't gone on, but they have planned like 8 camping trips at this point. So, anyway, I'm just really excited for y'all to meet her. We are so different in so many ways. She is an Enneagram 2. She is, I would say, not as extroverted as me. Would you agree with that, Joanna?
Oh,
Um,
yeah, I'm introverted,
yeah,
100%.
we're very different, but we've both gone diamond. And I think that and our friendship is beautiful. The way we run our businesses is different, but it's also been the same. And so I'm excited for y'all to just kind of get some of the meat and potatoes of that tonight. Um, Okay, Joanna, I just have a bunch of questions, and if y'all have questions, you can unmute and ask. You can write them in the chat. You can interrupt me, whatever you want to do. This is y'all's call. We're just here to help. So, my first question to you, Joanna, is what did you do before Plexus to make money?
I so I did a lot of different things. I cleaned apartments, I baked to the farmers market, I babysat. The person I babysat didn't want to pay me, even though it was a job, and so that was stressful. Um, Anything really to just like try to fill in the gaps and like make ends meet. I would like bring my babies with me to like scrub another person's toilet, and I didn't love it, but it made money, so yeah.
Gosh, I love that part of your story. And like, so on your road to, how long did it take you to go silver and gold? Do you remember?
Yeah, so it took me 6 months to go silver, and then it took me another 10 months after going silver to go gold.
Yep. I
Um,
love that because we have fast start now. So sometimes it feels like if we don't fast start or if we lose rank or if we're not going the speed of light, then it's never going to happen. And that is not the case. And we know that because we've been there. My journey, I actually, some of y'all know this, but I posted for about a month and I signed no one. So I stopped posting because I was like, this is dumb, not doing this. This sucks. I'm terrible. And then I came back a year later and I was like, okay, we're going to try this again. And I had a much better experience because it came at it differently, right? And so I hope that that is encouraging to you, not only in your own journey, but as you're coaching people. Be like, hey, girl, I know that it's been 7 days and you haven't gone silver. My friend Joanna, it took her 6 months and she went diamond. Don't you dare quit, right? So, anyway, I think that's always been really encouraging to me. All right, I want you to tell us your journey to senior gold, Joanna.
okay, yeah. Um, I started just for the products. I just wanted to get healthy, feel better. A friend of mine posted and I saw her post and I was like, okay, if it's good enough for you, I'm going to try it. And I messaged her. I was actually her first customer or ambassador. Because back then it was like you could sign a customer or an ambassador is what they were called. And so I got the big pack because it made sense, even though I couldn't afford it, but it was cheaper in the long run. Um, and because I couldn't afford it, that's how I started the business because I wanted to get my products paid for. And so I didn't even have Facebook or social media. I shared with my husband and I made a post on there about it and he got mad at me. And so I was like, well, fine, I'll get my own Facebook then. And so I did. And it terrified me because I'm introverted. Like I had no idea what I was going to post. And back then it was recommended to post 6 to 8 times a day, if you can believe that, on your timeline. And I was like, my life is boring. Like I'm home with my baby. Like, what am I gonna post about? And so I just had to like come up with stuff. But um Jordan and I were like comparing old posts before
Oh,
this
here,
call
I'll
and like
drop them in
laughing at
the
them.
chat. Hold
They're
on. I'll
so
go put them in our chat. Yeah.
they're so bad. But I mean, I posted and people saw it and I signed people up. I mean, it took a while. But anyway, so I started posting. I joined in the end of December, started posting in January. No, I started posting in February of 2016. And then I went officially silver in like, it was like the end of June or July. I had someone that joined under me that was going to make my silver, but she accidentally joined under the wrong Joanna mailer. And then we fixed it. But I went to convention, believe it or not, as like not even silver because it was actually an hour and a half from my house. That year it was in Phoenix. I lived in Arizona at the time. So we drove down to convention. It was one of the scariest things I ever did in my life. I didn't know a single soul. My sponsor wasn't there. I sat in the very back. And then this Ruby, really sweet Ruby girl, she like invited me to sit with her team because she didn't want me to sit by herself or by myself. But I got a picture with like the emerald. By then, I feel like I was added to a team page early on in my, like, as soon as I joined, I was added to a team page. And that's where I saw like post about the income, people getting their Lexus and like paying off medical debt and, or like, school loans and different things. And that really built my belief that I was like a silent stalker. I would just like watch the posts that they would be posted in the team page. I don't think I ever commented on them. Um,
By the way,
and it just really,
add your people to team pages, you guys. Did y'all just hear what she
yeah,
said? Because I was
like
the exact same.
it was huge. I really don't think I would be here if I hadn't been, because like that is really what kind of piqued my interest beyond getting my products paid for. And so, like, I mean, I wouldn't have gone to convention. Like, who would have, like, just to get my products paid for? Because by that point, I was all in for the business and I really saw it as something God had brought in answer to my prayers for something I could do from home to help us pay off all the medical debt that we had, the credit card debt, and stop living paycheck to paycheck, or not even like we would have a negative bank account like twice a month. Um, and so, like, yeah. Anyway, went silver in 6 months, and then 10 more months went gold. I had just had my second baby. My husband was in the academy at that point, police academy. And we only had one car and he had to take it with him. So I was like home alone without a car, pregnant with a toddler, posting about Plexus and like dreaming of better days. And they eventually came. It felt like they might not ever come, but they did eventually come. I was actually talking to my team the other day, a side note, about vision and how one of the things my husband and I would do way back when, I think I was gold at this point in my business, but we would get a dessert or get a drink and we would drive around town looking at houses because it was our dream to own a house. We lived like we were sick of living in an apartment and like this, the people below us hated us and they were like so mean and like we just wanted to have our own house. And so we would drive around and look at houses and we weren't even close to being able to afford one. Like we had horrible credit scores from missing credit card payments from all the credit cards we had. Um, and one of the cheapest options that we found that we really liked was this house with like around 100,000, which is so funny to think of now because that's like nothing when it comes to the housing market. Um, but even then, it was like that just seems so far out of reach. And then we ended up buying a house for 320,000 um, later on because of Plexus, which is just crazy how that just happened. But um, I went gold, yeah, in 10 months. So, and then I was stuck at gold for like ever. It felt like it was 16 months of being stuck at gold. That's when I remember vividly, right? I had been probably gold for like 9 months, 6 to 9 months. And I just remember thinking, like, I literally have no one else to talk to about Plexus. No one. I had talked to them all. And so, because I didn't have a very, like, I didn't have a ton of friends, like, as far as like a very small town, very small network, very small church. I tried to connect with everyone that I could on Facebook once I got Facebook, like past friends, people I went to camp with, and all that, but it wasn't a ton. So that is when I learned about growing my network through Facebook groups. And that's when I started doing that. And it took about like 6 to 9 months to really like of consistently working at that to start to get traction again, because that's not like an overnight thing. Like you have to take time to like get to know people and all of that. Um, but that is when I went senior gold. It took me from like beginning to emerald. It was like 6 years, 6.5 years ish from the beginning of my journey to emerald. But like 3.5 years of that was me just trying to get to senior gold. Like it was brutal. And so then, yeah, I mean, my husband told me at one point, he's like, "You're never going to be successful at this." And I cried and was depressed and was like, "You know what? I'm going to show him. I'm going to do it." So,
Yeah, if
like,
you
the
go watch her
paycheck,
diamond documentary, well, did they include that in your diamond documentary? Remember he said that, but I can't remember if they included it.
they, no, not all of it,
Okay,
but
because there was like a piece where he was actually they were recording him and he was like they were like, "Did you always believe in her?" He was, "No." He
no,
was like, "I thought this was dumb."
no,
And I
stupid. It's
don't
a
think they
pyramid
actually put it in
scheme.
there.
But as my paycheck grew, then his belief grew. So there's that. Money talks. And that's what I tell everyone. I'm like, just grow your paycheck and I promise you, your husband will come around. Um, yeah. So that pretty much in a nutshell, I hosted an event at Gold. Not a single soul showed up. I felt very unloved, but it all worked out. And like an in person, like in my house, like including my house. I got snacks. I invited all my people that I thought would support me, and no, so
No. And y'all tonight I told her I was like I want you to be so real because at the end of this call I want y'all to be like wow that somebody has been where I have they've hit the hard spot that I'm in or I have hit and they didn't die one and they made it through and because I watched a video one time and she was talking about how we create drama in our head and like we're the only one going through it or this feels like so hard the sky is falling and it's not. You're going to get through it. I love you. It probably feels really hard when you're in it. I know. We know. But we want you to just see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I love that you mentioned vision earlier, Joanna. What did you say that y'all drove around and looking at houses because that was her vision board. That was her like actual like tactile vision board. And so how important, I didn't tell you I was going to ask this question, but how important has vision been for you along your journey to diamond? Like, or can you think of other moments where it was like vision casting or the vision just kept you going?
oh, 100%. Like, because when you have these big goals and dreams, like they feel so far out of reach. Like they're so far away. And it's so hard sometimes to see past like the day, the week, the month. Like, how's that ever going to happen? And for me, like I was telling my team this too, like print out your, it was like, it might be cheesy or maybe it was, but I don't think it is at all. Like printing out your vision board. Like I created one on Pinterest. I printed it out at the local printer, so I didn't have my own printer. And I felt like so like kind of embarrassed picking it up. Like, what are they gonna think about when I'm fishing for it? Like, who even cares? But uh, I did. I felt weird. But I put it on my fridge and it had like all my, and I actually found a post because Jordan and I were looking at old posts. I found this post that I made with it. Like I posted a picture of it like when I created it and I like wrote out what everything meant, all the pictures and everything that I was going to achieve for my Facebook. I was like, wow, I was bold. I can't believe I posted that. I was like, this is gonna happen, is what I said. I was like, this is what's going to happen because of Plexus. And I wrote it all out, like paying off our medical debt from Juliana and like all different things, like buying our first house. And so just like having something tangible that you can see every day, I think is so powerful for your brain because it just helps to build that belief. The more you see it, the more you're going to believe in yourself, and which is so important because there's a lot of hard days.
Yeah, I know that y'all probably know my journey to senior gold, but I'm just gonna share a couple of things in mine that might hit for you. So I remember it was probably right after I went senior gold, and I didn't have as many people coming to me anymore. Like I felt like if I posted enough, if I did the 6 to 8 times a day or whatever we were told to do, I was having people come to me, and all of a sudden I wasn't having people to come to me anymore. And I was like, oh crap. Like I am gonna have to go cold message. This sucks. Like in my head, I was like, I'm not doing this. Like I had told myself I wasn't doing it. I knew I was gonna do it, but I didn't want to do it because it was very new. And I didn't like looking dumb. I didn't like looking new at something. And I had to really quickly like check my pride and realize that was a pride issue. And I had to like figure out how to move past that. So that was a really big thing. I also found my first runner when I was around senior gold, and she was older. She didn't know how to work Facebook. And so I was having to get really creative with her. And it taught me that I had to be in the trenches with anybody that was ready to work. And I was doing tons of 3 ways because she didn't understand a lot of the things that all the systems, she didn't understand that. So I was like, well, just put me in 3 ways. So we were texting in 3 ways, we were doing 3-way calls, like, and I had to be willing to sacrifice some of that like structure and time in order to learn how to grow leaders. And so that was really big for me too. Okay. Also, right after I went senior gold, we had one of the I quit my job right before that, the month while I was gold. Okay. Quit my corporate job while I was gold. And like, I don't even know how many months, maybe 2 or 3 months later, we had one of the ugliest ad months we've ever had. And I was like, so it was like quickly having to learn like the victim and the victor mindset. Like, okay, the sky is not falling. Y'all, there's so many times I have told myself, Jordan, you are safe. The sky is not falling. And I was like, what do I need to go do? What's my next move here? Because if we stay in the spot like I was, victim mindset, just quit my job, just brand new senior gold. If we stay in that spot of woe is me, this sucks, the sky is falling, everything's it's not going to work. I'm never going to go to diamond. What have I done? I made the worst mistake of my life. What am I doing? You can spiral so fast, but you got to choose the other direction. So I just had to choose. So I was like, okay, let's get creative. What do we need to do? And that's how we created a 100-person reach out. And we've been doing it ever since then. So anyway, that's a little bit of my story to then. Um, Joanna, do you want to talk a little bit about going emerald, and primarily some of what I want them to hear from you is some of the main, like the growth that you had to do, because we have, where'd she go? Oh, there you are. You moved on my screen. How many
Mm.
times have you felt
Okay.
stuck at a rank, or you hit a rank and you fell back, Joanna? Like,
Oh, like
oh,
every single rank.
there's a new levels, new devils is actually a thing. You hit a new rank, you hit a new growth point. There's going to be new devils. There's going to be new comfort zone levels you got to unlock. It just is. So, will you just kind of tell us on your road to Emerald some of the growth that had to happen for you, maybe some of the hard moments, and then also some of like your absolute favorite moments? They made it worth everything, like favorite moments. So, growth moments, favorite moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely, I feel like so much of my journey was like to senior gold. And then once I hit senior gold, like we connected, and I feel like just having some people to work with is so important, like sidelines, because I feel like it just really helps your mindset every day of just like getting out of your own head because it's so easy to just like, yeah, your brain wants to lie to you all the time. And so when you have like those outside voices, giving you ideas and inspiring you, helping pick you up on a bad day and vice versa, it really makes a huge difference. And so that was powerful
Hey,
for
re
me.
really quick, Joanna, if you just had to like describe like what did we do for each other and what did we not do? Does that make sense? Like, what do you, how do, if you took a peek in our Power Partner chat back in 2018, 2019, like what would you have seen in our chat?
I mean, we were like every day sharing action we were doing, what was working, what wasn't working, and the areas we needed to grow in. Like Jordan was really good at growing silvers. And like so she would share like what she was doing and like whatever our strength was at the time, like we would share. And then usually one of us that wouldn't be our strength, so we would learn like things to implement or tweak. Um, I remember like we were like very rarely negative. I don't ever hardly remember there being anything negative. It was just like, okay, what can we do? What can we change? What can like, I mean, yes, we had hard days, but
Yeah.
it was always most of the time it was like super positive. It was also really hard. Like I think people maybe think it was like a magical thing of like power partnership, but like it was really hard work to get to know other people and then put in the time. Like you don't, it just doesn't like happen. Like you have to show up. You have to be willing to like get out of your comfort zone, at least for me, because like getting to know people is really hard when you're introverted.
Yeah.
Um, and so just being willing, like I wanted the reason why I even did that is because a diamond in my upline was like, you need power partners. She said, not to me, she said that like in a post on the team page or something like to be successful, you need power partners. And I was like, okay, fine. I don't want a power partner, but I will find one like somehow. And so it took like a whole year or so of looking and I tried with another person and it didn't work. And um, so that just being coachable of like they said like do it. So I did it, even though I didn't want to was a big thing. Like I just remember just deciding like I think I was gold and I was like, I will just do what anyone tells me to do. Like whatever my uplines tell me to do, I won't say no. And so I feel like that really and it was hard sometimes. Like there's some scary things to do. But I think that of just like being coachable of knowing like they know what they're talking about because they have been where I'm at.
I
Um,
will tell you one thing I know we did often, because how many of y'all have ever, actually, you don't have to raise your hand, but there have been so many times where I could choose to feel shame about my team ads, or I could feel shame about where my points are. Or and what happened in our power partner chat, you guys, is that there was zero room for shame. And what that did was it allowed us to be more creative, have more fun in our business because we weren't hiding behind any curtain. If you ever had a therapy session, you know that once you just like get it out, you tell somebody, you just feel better. Everything feels lighter. So I remember, and here's the thing, y'all. I was chasing Joanna and Emily almost every month. Both of them almost had more points than me every single month. Both of them hit Sapphire before me. And I was like, I felt like the dog that was like trying to like paddle above water. I'm like, I'm coming every month. And they'd be like, I'll get this video, I'll get this video. So it's like, I'm about 30 behind y'all, but I'm coming. But it was never a space of comparison for me. It was always a space that made me better. They rose me up. And I was always just really thankful. And I think something that Emily was really, really good at is she'd be like, hey, well, tell what's your goal today? Like, don't focus on the gap. Let's focus on the game. What's your goal today? Where do you want to finish this month? How are you going to do it? And so we never let each other get into the gap. Never read gap in the gain, highly suggest. And also there was no shame. No shame. And there were months where Joanna's points were 1,000 higher than mine. I was like, I'm coming. And so I think that was really helpful too. Sorry, you were talking about power partners. I just wanted to talk more about that. So
no, that's so good. I love that. Yeah, no, so then once I went senior gold, I think it was another like year and a half because that was 2017. So it was like another year and a half is how long it took me to go from senior gold to emerald. Um,
So wait,
and it actually took,
three and a half,
oh, go
how
ahead.
many, three and a half, how many years
So
to senior gold?
3.5.
Three and a half, and then a year and a half to emerald, right?
Was that right? Because I thought I said it was 6 years to, yeah,
I think
something
it
like, yeah,
was
yeah.
six, was it
So it
6
must
years
have been
total?
5. Must have been 5 years to emerald then.
5 years to emerald, or sorry, yeah,
Oh,
because it
that's
was,
right. Because it took me, no, it was like not even, because I think it was 6 years to diamond. That's why I was thinking 6.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
But
keep
yeah,
going.
so, but it actually took me moving, excuse me. So so I went Ruby, and then at Ruby, um, it's just really hard because you have to like double your team. Um, but once I went Ruby, then and I fell back. I went back to like 350 points, I think, but after hitting Ruby, because like that would always happen.
Ruby's 500 for those who don't know yet.
And we went to convention. I remember Jordan and Emily had gone senior Ruby, and I was still Ruby, which is funny how it can go. Like,
It was always back
um,
and forth. Yeah.
yeah. And so when they had like they did this training where like we had like senior Ruby stand and then Ruby stand, and then Jordan and Emily stood, and I was like, I'm gonna be there, and I was like the next month I hit senior Ruby, but we actually ended up moving to a different state the month I went senior Ruby, and that really helped with me going Emerald actually because it was a new network, and so I actually like I met new people and I expanded just my network, which you don't have to move to do that. But I think it's just the power of like growing your network. Um, because I ended up meeting, so my pastor's wife ended up joining, and then she grew to senior gold, and that helped. That was one of the things that helped go emerald. Um, but I remember pushing for emerald in like January of 2019, no, 2018. And we didn't hit it. Like it was like a big, like all the prep of like, okay, we're going to do a countdown. This is what we're doing. This is like a team, like effort, all the energy and everything that goes into that, like a big rank up like that. And then we were like probably 250 points away. Like we were pretty far. Um, but I actually really liked that happened in the end. I mean, it sucks when it happens. It always does because it's hard. But and sorry it's dark in here, but seems to be where my phone gets the best service. So, um, but it was really, I think, helpful for my team because at the end of the month we didn't hit it, and the next month or the day one, I was back doing my work. Like I was showing up, making a plan, helping my leaders hit their like, what are your goals? Like brainstorming. Um, And so I think it was really powerful for them to see, like, even though like you're going to have the setbacks, like it's going to happen. You're not changing the goal, you're changing the timeline. Or what is that? Like, is that the right saying?
Yeah.
It just like we bumped the date. And so we ended up going Emerald in April, which I had just found out I was pregnant, and I was like so sick with my third. I was like in bed when we actually ranked up to Emerald, and like working from my phone because I was so nauseous. Um, but like I feel like I think and I that at that I think so much of it was fun, honestly, because I had my power partners. Like I think the hardest part of my journey really honestly was to the senior gold moment of like getting past the like my husband not telling me I wouldn't be successful, like having people that I thought would do this with me not, and like it really helped me build a really strong mindset. Um, and so it actually really, really helped. But it's like if you can just remember like all the hard things, eventually, it's like there's that quote, like what is it? Like basically like you're going through this to show someone else that they can. And if like you can remember that, like the trials, the hard things, like one day you're gonna be the one walking someone else through that because you came out on the other side. I think is so important. Like it can seem so hard in the moment, but when you have that vision of what it's going to do for you. One of my, okay, the highlight, I would say, because I forgot that she had said the highlight of like, one of my highlights has been hearing my husband brag about me to other people and what I do and like how proud he is of the success that I've had. Like it makes me cry because like that was such a far, like we had to go along, we had to come a long ways for that to happen. And also taking my kids, for years I was like, when I earn Emerald Extravaganza, like we're all going like that. I'm taking you with me. We're gonna go to Hawaii and go to the beach. And like they were really little, so I know they probably don't even remember me telling them that. But by the time they did remember, like Juliana remembered. And so when I hit that and like went Emerald, and then I got to actually like make good on that promise of like what I told them we were gonna do, that you can't even put into words. Like they had the best time. They still remember that trip to this day, even though they were really little when we went. And playing in the ocean and all of that. And it was because I stuck with it and they saw me work really hard. And I think that is one of the most special things to me is my family seeing the fruit that has come from me not giving up and knowing that like if you work hard and you keep going, like amazing things are going to happen. And I think it's such a good example to our kids.
I love you so much. I feel like there's just every objection you could possibly ever have. I'm too tired. I just move. I need to spend a year building a network. No, that's not what she did. Right? Like every objection you could possibly ever have, she just shattered for you. I'm out of my work market. Cool. So was she. My husband doesn't support me. Cool. Neither did his. Neither did hers. So I'm just thinking like every single thing you could possibly ever go through, every objection you could possibly ever have for continuing, we've been there. I've been stuck at a rank for years and years. Cool. Same. I was
Yeah,
at
do you
Emerald.
remember, Jordan, when like it was the contest and we had swept, I think we had swept the last con. No, I don't remember if we had swept it at all. But you were like so far away the last month, and you're like, "There's no way. I'm, I'm not." I was like, "Jordan, stop right now. You're gonna sweep the contest." And you had like a
Yes,
whole month, and you ended up doing it, and you swept
I
it.
remember.
But like, yeah, it's like that mindset is so powerful of figuring things out.
Yeah. And I think you guys, I really believe to my core that first off, having power partners is work. Like it was work. We don't make money off of each other. We don't make money off of each other's success. But one of my highlights was being able to fly to Oregon to go be in Joanna's diamond documentary. And that was one of the coolest moments because y'all, I love that Teddy Roosevelt quote though. When you're in the arena, you know what I'm talking about. It's like it's you're fighting together, you're in it, you're grinding. It's like one of those mud races where like on your hands and knees and you're just going through the mud under the ropes and it's hard, but it's also fun and you're competing. And that was us. And now it's like a new dream unlocked. When Taylor goes diamond, heck yes, I am flying. Like I cannot wait to fly to each of your diamond documentaries. It's such a cool, special moment. And so anyway, I we're almost at 9 o'clock. And so I would love to just pause. What questions do y'all have? What do you want to know? What did she say that hit? What did you, even if it's just like I needed to hear that, like I'm gonna mute myself and I want y'all to just ask questions or bring things up and we'll talk through them until we're out of time.
I
I
just
just
need to,
have to say, oh, sorry.
oh, I
Okay.
just need to quit putting timelines on things and quit worrying about how quickly I achieve ranks. I'm doing it to myself, and I just need to enjoy the process and all the people I'm getting to meet along the way.
Joanna, how did you shift from like, oh, I missed that deadline or I missed that timeline or how did you shift that and just and still stay competitive and it still say I'm still setting goals, but not make that the end all be all where you want to quit if you don't hit it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think just really getting encouragement from people's stories of like, because it's like in the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So like someone else has been where you're at, and if they can make it through, so can you. And that, so I never missed. I think a big thing for me was like I never missed the team call. It was every Monday for my Diamond Upline. And that always the team call. And then if there, I never miss convention, but it's like that weekly team call, it kept me going another week and then another week or another day. Or that Diamond Doc kept me going like for the next 24 hours. So it's like I was consistently putting information, like things that just kept me going, that inspired me, that encouraged me, that gave me hope that if others could do it, so could I. And I would say that is really was a big part for me. What about you, Jordan?
Yeah, I think that I set goals based on my team's goals. And so I was really, it's not that I didn't have like these ranks in my head of when I wanted to do it, but I also was just very realistic knowing that past senior gold, you can't do any of it alone. And so, I would look at my month, I would look at who was running, I would look at their goals, and then that's when I was like, okay, I'm going. And what I love about goal setting is, and kind of what Joanna was saying earlier, a lot of the times these goals don't hit land. They don't even look like they're possible until the last 3 to 5 days of the month. And so I never took them off the table until the very last moment, even when we were going sapphire. And I was like this close and we missed, like, this is not the end. I could see the end. And we didn't, I don't even think we hit it the next month. Maybe it was the next month or it was the following. We were just, you can't let it get to you to the point where you're like so down that you missed it, or I've been at this rank for a long time. You just got to focus on your girls and where they're going and helping them, and knowing that when they are where they need to be, you will be where you need to be.
Oh, and can you wait? Can you hear me? Sorry, I keep moving because
Yeah.
I'm trying to find. Okay, I
Light.
was gonna say, and oh, what was that? It left. Had to do with what you were just saying. Dang internet, and made me lose my train of thought.
When
Never
it comes
mind.
back, holler.
Continue. Okay.
Lexi, you had something, didn't you?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I really appreciate this because Joanna knows this whole thing with me. I made senior gold. I hit senior gold. It felt great. I had a team I was running with, and then my entire team just downfall. Like I literally am back. I'm been ranking gold still for the last few months and stuff, but I know that that's like it's been slowly like going down in the points, and I'm just watching it, and it just gets so defeating sometimes. But just like listening to you guys talk and like knowing that you guys have been there, you've seen it, you and Joanna's told me like many times, like that downfall happens right before a big rank up. Like just keep pushing through, like and all that stuff. And it's just like sometimes it can just be so overwhelming and so tiring. And it's like I feel like I'm fighting the fight, but not seeing the reward. But then I sit here and I look back and I have my vision board and I have those dreams, and I got to watch Joanna do a lot of the things that she got to do. And like those goals for my family are still the same and my reason why. So I just really appreciate you guys.
Lexi, there's two books that I read that really helped me after I went senior gold, because um, senior gold wasn't my hardest rank, if I'm being very frank. But I see it as being one of the hardest, if not the hardest ranks in our business. That and Sapphire. Those are the two, and I think it's so mental because we see a point jump. We think, oh, we got to double our point. I think it's so much of it is mental. Or we're like, and then you look at your next rank, and you're like, oh my gosh, do I have the capacity to manage that team? Right? It's all there's so much of it is mindset. The other piece is leadership development. And we know that senior gold rank is such a business rank, right? You have to really treat this more like a business than a hobby. And so 5 levels of leadership really helped me. And the reason it helped me was that I realized there's 5 different whatever. I was a level 1 leader because I was not building relationships. And I don't know where yours is, but it brought a lot of awareness on leadership gaps that I was missing. And I was like, oh, I'm not a leader at all. I'm a recruiter. Cool. Okay. So then I had a label for what I was, and then I could figure out where I wanted to go. And so, and it also taught me that I needed to be more patient with people. And the other thing I will tell you is that be thankful, the girls that leave, be thankful when they leave, because you do not, I saw this graphic one time. It was like, you are climbing a mountain. And there's going to be a point and you're rolling a ball up a mountain. And there's going to be a point when you are going down the other side and it feels easy. Like you could step away from your business, you're making money, like it feels easier. But right now, I would say every single one of you guys are still pushing this ball up this hill. And you don't want to have girls that are you're having to piggyback all the way up to. And so be thankful when the girls that don't want this business, be thankful when they leave because you don't want to be carrying them for years and years and years when you know they're going to quit anyway. So anyway, that's what I'll tell you. Yes. Yes. And also taproot. If y'all aren't taprooting, if girls leave and you aren't taprooting into their teams, I have like I'm looking over here at Becca. I'm like, I'm not I can't say that I'm glad her sponsor left. Like it was sad, but Becca and I have like this awesome relationship now. And I wouldn't have had that if her sponsor would have stayed. Like and so you can choose those hard moments and find the gratitude in them and then lean into it big time. Okay, we probably have time for one more question or comment.
Okay, I'm not sure if anybody else is gonna unmute, so I'll just ask this like for y'all to share. But for like some people on here, like at Gold and Senior Gold, they maybe have never taprooted before. And so like if you were in their shoes or like when you were in their shoes, what did taprooting look like? One, taprooting down to people who maybe you've never been in a three-way with or never been in a conversation with. What did that look like and how did you start that conversation? And then two, what about taprooting down to business builders who were in the deeper levels of your level ones who have left and they no longer were working the business? What did that look like taprooting down into them?
Joanna, do you want to go first or do you want me to?
Yeah, no, what I did for taprooting is, I mean, anyone, well, first, like I friended anyone up until at least Ruby. Anytime someone joined my team, I went and found them on Facebook and I added them.
And if they
And
went
then I
silver, I
would,
was absolutely adding them. Yeah, that's a good
yeah.
call out.
And then I would message them too, just to be like, hey, because at this point, it was like my levels mostly like ones, twos, threes, or twos, threes. Level one wouldn't be a taprooting, but twos and threes. And so I would message them and just like say I was so excited for them that there's whoever their sponsor was, I would be like, so and so is amazing, but I'm here if you ever need me, kind of message. And so I would connect with every person. And then mostly, yeah. I mean, if I think then things could come from that. And so then if their sponsor did quit, then they knew like I was there. Or if I noticed that maybe they added someone and their sponsor's not working, then I'm going to go and like, congrats, and like see if I can help and see if they need, help with the system or whatever. But mostly I think mine started with just that first thing of like adding everyone and then sending them that message. What about you, Jordan?
Yeah, I remember you asked two questions. One, with people that hadn't been in three ways before, and then two, if they had business builders. So let me just tell you all this. If you ever have a teammate that's like, don't talk to my people, don't touch my people, that's baloney. That is pride. Because if you do not want me to add value to people, to your people, then that is a control issue. And I know that because I had a control issue. I told my sponsor, stop adding my people into your team page. And she was like, what? Why? I was just trying to help. And I was mad, right? So shame on me. I had some pride issues to work through. So if you ever somebody tells you like, don't add my people or whatever, be like, okay, tell me more about that. Because it's always a pride issue. Okay. That aside, so I remember one instance, I had a girl and she was maybe like silver or senior silver. And I saw her and I just kept seeing her name pop up, like add three, add three, add three. So I just remember I added her on Facebook, like Joanna said, and I knew that her sponsor wasn't super active. And I never want to throw the sponsor under the bus. We never want to make their sponsor feel shame or dog them in any way. And so I just said, hey, I know your sponsor is taking care of you. I know she loves you, but I see you and I just want you to know I see you. And kind of like she said, I just want you to know I'm here. And also if you have somebody on your team that is not a level one that is doing work, recognizing them, if their sponsor's not making graphics, giving them little nudges. Hey, I just saw so and so added 3. Did you need a Canva doc or a Canva link so that you could celebrate them? And so those are some of the kind of ways that I've tap rooted into those levels. And I even got a call with one time, and I was just like, "Hey, you're doing awesome. I want to hear more about what you're doing. Can I call you?" And so that's kind of how I've done it. Good question. Okay, I hope this like raw, open conversation is helpful. Do y'all like this style? I know that we train a lot, but I hope that you like this style of just like, let's just tell you our experience. Let's leave no stone unturned. Allie asked a question, Joanna, did you add all of your ambassadors and customers or just ambassadors?
Yeah, like if I could see their name in my back office and I could find them on social media, then I added them.
Okay. Okay, I don't know who y'all are running with right now. I don't know who you have in your ear talking all the time, but if Joanna would have listened to her husband, she never would have kept going. And we love our husbands. But her husband wasn't supportive, so she had to find a support system. And so my encouragement to y'all is if you do not have somebody that is willing to give you the tough love and tell you to stop throwing yourself a pity party and move, then you need to find that person. And if you need that, I'll be that person for you if you need me. But it's better when it's somebody that's in your season, somebody that you can grow with. It's more special that way too, because you're in this same position, same trench together. So anyway, that's all we got. We love y'all. Go finish October. Bye. Thank you, Joanna.